Welcome to the second episode of the Sils podcast. We're here with myself, James Arney, Thomas Lee and Moses Fakatu, where we are to discuss the first result of the Lions tour against South Africa, where the Lions came out victorious, 22-15 I think the final score was. Classic cliche of a game of two halves. I think we sort of came out a bit slowly in the first half and gave away sort of far too many penalties. Came back in the second half and managed to sort of squeeze the game out. I quite enjoyed sort of the first minute with the first minute bomb in the air. I think I discussed last week. I quite liked the idea of Van der Merwe going against Colby in the air, which nearly happened, but I think we're offside. And also the last 5 minutes were pretty good as well. I thought defensively we sort of again shut the game out. But I thought the best way of dealing with that was sort of giving every player a sort of individual rating and see if we sort of agreed on that. So Moses, do you want to go through your sort of ratings on the forward pack first of all?
Yeah, sure. The forward pack, I thought, to be honest, the forwards played quite well. I think, that was the biggest worry for me. And I think, like you said, the first half, the scrums really worried me. I think there was a couple of scrums I thought, if we're not careful here, this could be a long day. But I think we did well. So I think, to be honest with you, the standouts were Laws and Itoje. That's 9 or 10. Yeah. They were just phenomenal. Itoje got man of the match, but Laws, he was just so good.
Immense, wasn't he?
It's that picture. I think he's running and you see is it Dutois? He's on the floor, then he's. I don't know if Khaleesi as well. He just looks such a badass.
He broke 3 tackles.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Oh my gosh, that's like the two back row players just can't even tackle him. So I thought Laws was phenomenal. The back row, I thought all probably 7 out of 10 for all of them. To be honest with you, I think. The only down I was a bit annoyed at Curry, that penalty he gave away, that late tackle on Faf. I thought, come on, I know they're Sils teammates, but I thought, it's such a silly thing to. And then I think Pollard got a penalty off that one as well, so I thought, not ideal. But I haven't really given individual ratings, but I thought the forward pack in general, all of them just kind of 7 out of 10. And then the exception was Laws and Itoje, who were just phenomenal, outstanding. But yeah, happy with the forwards. Very happy with the forwards.
The scrum started poorly, didn't it?
Yeah, they did.
Sutherland being thrown in to start after Wyn Jones pulled out injured, and with Tad Furlong, they just got ripped apart in those first 2 scrums. And like you said, I thought that was it, because as soon as Safa's got the upper hand in a maul or in a scrum, it's like we've played for the Sils for however long. We only know to go backwards at set piece and
run backwards.
You cannot play rugby from that, and that's exactly what it looked like. And then all of a sudden something clicked. And Furlong was turning in, and Sutherland got big. He just stood still, and he didn't go backwards, which is what we needed. But it looked like a long day.
Yeah, but then when Mako came on, I thought Mako was so solid. I was nervous a little bit about Mako with the scrums, but he was so solid.
He just looked effortless.
Honestly, that's what it was. Yeah. I don't even think he was kind of trying to move. He just kind of stood still, and you could tell the South was trying to wheel, and they just couldn't move him. So
it almost seemed like, and obviously I've never been really in the scrum, but it almost looked like once they got set for their second squeeze, Mako was like, right, start pushing. Exactly. As soon as they eased off for that second push, and then they started to wheel it, didn't they?
So I wonder now, do you give Wyn Jones a shot, or do you just keep it? To be honest, I would just keep it.
He might not be fit from what I've read.
Oh really?
Yeah,
okay, no worries. Then Sutherland starts.
But I think our replacement front right probably won us the game in a way.
Yeah.
So they did they set the standard for the rest of the game. Didn't take a backward step. Scrum sorted out.
So what do they call their front row replacement? The bomb squad?
Yeah, well they replaced all of it in the second half.
Time.
Yeah, I was like, oh wow, because I thought the front row in the South Africa, the first half, were really good. I thought, wow, they didn't look tired either. So I was kind of shocked that
they brought on that fat Harry Potter guy. What's his name?
That's the one.
The ginger bloke.
The ginger one.
Kiss
Yeah.
off.
Not Harry Potter. Sorry, Ron Weasley. Yeah.
But no, happy with the forwards. Good day with the forwards, I think.
Any change in your ratings for that, Tom? Would you say forwards wise, or?
Alan Wyn Jones being up there, he was just everywhere. To be out for 3 weeks, have a dislocated shoulder, play 23 minutes in a warm-up game, and to go 80 minutes and be everywhere and just pull the boys through. There's times when it looked like they were on the ropes and they cut to him, and he was just calming everyone down. He was being that leader. That's exactly. And we talked about it last week. If he's fit, he plays because of what he adds as a leader, and I think he showed that. Obviously Maro was immense. That turnover he got on our 5 metre line when we cocked the ball up was unreal. That was a try.
No, for sure.
We're going to get out of that. And then at the end, when we let them bloody regather the kick-off, like typical Sils again, let them regather the kick-off when they need to try to level it and conversion to win it. And I think it's Diolande got up there, didn't he? And then Maro just ripped it out in the tackle, didn't he? But equally, we'd done that 3 times in the game, been pinged for it. So just didn't get to ground. But yeah, like you said, could have been Laws. I thought Curry was everywhere, and he started to carry more. He made 2 or 3 good lines, and then yeah, I mean, and Conan, a couple of good breaks. Conan always seemed to make the game line.
Yeah,
most carries.
Yeah, he made 12 carries and like made 50 metres. I thought.
Yeah, I don't think he went backwards once. He always seems to get that little extra step in, doesn't he?
So that's probably him starting actually. And I did notice Laws as well. He's a good ball carry, Laws as well. You know, I don't know what it is about his physique, but when he carries, he's able to make extra.
Yeah, he definitely carries more than he used to in his sort of early career, doesn't he?
Sure.
He also seems to make meters as well.
More than just a tackler.
Some big collisions, and then obviously Luke Cowan-Dickie. We talked about his line-out success throughout the tour last week.
Yeah,
wasn't what it was. He struggled a little bit. I can kind of understand. I mean, looking up and having Etzebeth and was it not Diago? It was Mostard in the middle, like staring at you. I can imagine it's quite daunting. But I think he still plays next week because what he does around
his line-outs. It wasn't even his. He had a few botched line-outs, some of which might have not been his fault because I don't know, communication, the line-out, whatever. But even his successful line-outs seem to be sort of catching here rather than not here.
Yeah,
I've noticed, but
maybe a first test nerves. I'm not too sure.
I don't think they'll drop him for that. I'd be surprised if they drop him for that because of what he did elsewhere. You know.
He'll still be part of the game, won't he?
I think so.
On the bench or starting.
Yeah, Ken Owens could. I mean,
I'm going to say this now. I just do not rate Ken Owens at all. Maybe it's just me. I just do not rate him.
He just looks crap. That's why.
Everyone calls him the sheriff, and I watch him play. I just think I just do not rate him. Maybe this is controversial, but maybe it's I just want England players there. But I watch him play.
Breaking news: Moses hates the Welsh.
No,
racist.
That's on me.
No, he just looks like an old school, Welsh player in the 1970s, isn't he?
Yeah,
big bloke.
Exactly.
But sort of a summary of what I went for sort of Furlong 7, thought he was pretty solid. Cowan-Dickie I thought 6, just because of his line-outs. That could be more crucial than it was. But obviously scored his try well. Sutherland 6.5. He did get sort of knocked back in the first few scrums. Itoje 9, Adam Jones 7.5, Laws 9. Curry went 6.5 just because he gave away 3 penalties in that first 18 minutes.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, the first one was like, the one when you're like kind of stuck when you're trying to roll out and you can't get us up. But the 5 o'clock one, I definitely thought stupid.
Didn't need
Very
to do
stupid.
It. But again, I remember Fred said last week, if a bad Curry game, he still makes 10 tackles, and he still made at least 10 tackles. Carried well.
Exactly.
And Conan 7. I think Conan went under the radar a little bit, but he actually did. If you look at his stats, they were pretty impressive. I think he made most carries, most meters. So I'll be surprised if he gets swapped next week. To be honest,
I don't think that doesn't really. The only place I can see that changing is at 1 and 2. Sutherland might get swapped out for Wyn Jones, or Mako might start, and then Cowan-Dickie might give way and come off the bench instead. But I think everything else you
keep
stay as you are.
Yeah,
I don't see any reason to change that unless Alan Wyn Jones comes up a little bit lame, and then you stick Courtney Laws in at 5 and you bring Tad Burning. But there's no reason to change it after that performance.
I think so.
The only other one I'd maybe do is maybe give Watson a shout instead of Curry and bring Curry on, but then
he was lucky. I think
Watson was a madman when he came.
He was very lucky. That should have been a yellow actually, to be honest. Yeah,
2 times you could have got 10
when he did it, I thought, oh no, that's definitely a yellow. It was quite a lucky game actually. Like those Timo decisions that we got in our favour.
What do you think about the offside, in front of the kicker?
Well, that was close, but equally, Stéphane Pierre Dutoit definitely knocked it on when he tried to pick it up, and then they got the try off it. That one.
Oh yes.
Well, I thought they were saying
checked 3 angles, and it was like hits his hand, then hits his calf, and goes backwards. And it
that
happened
one.
to us
Try.
against Wales in the Six Nations.
Yeah.
But then the TMO was like, there's no clear contact with the hand, but you could see him go and try and pick it up off his hand onto his calf, and then you go back.
Yeah.
So,
but even on the actual disallowed try, I thought it was a forward pass, and then there was in front of the kicker that was like, oh, that's not a forward pass.
It looked
clearly forward.
No, definitely forward.
He sort of batted that off quite quickly.
He was a Safa though, wasn't he?
Yeah. But I think credit to Gatland, he put a lot of pressure last week when he said that he was furious that they had a South African team. So I'm sure that team was probably thinking,
Well, I sort of felt the first one, he's like, I'll give him this one, and the second one, he just didn't give it any time of day. He's like, I'm giving that a try. Definitely not hit his hand, hit his leg, gone backwards.
But the third one for sure, the one where Colby jumps and slaps it down, definitely not a try.
Not that one. He tried to regather the way down.
Exactly. But the Watson one, when that happened, I thought, you're an idiot. If you come off now,
there's just no need for it. They weren't going anywhere.
No,
it was just going to be a tackle anyway.
It was like Willie LaRue's ball. He's got so much more weight on him. I thought you don't need to.
Yeah.
You can drive back, but just lift the legs. I thought
that's just his. You're coming on for the Lions. You've got a bit of testosterone in you. You want to make a big hit straight away.
It's true.
Yeah, prove a point, but I don't.
We're winners though. Can't complain. We won.
Exactly. exactly.
So Moses, you keep the forward pack the same, exactly the same? Or any
Yeah.
changes?
I mean, I didn't know about Wyn Jones to what you just said now, but if he's still going to be injured, then I would keep Sutherland. I think Mako is much better off the bench now, actually.
Yeah.
I was going to start him, but I thought, no, he's so much better when he comes off the bench.
If Wyn Jones is fit, he starts.
Exactly,
And then you
yeah.
bring Mako. Sutherland's not going to have
No,
the impact.
no.
And Mako's just proven that.
Exactly, yeah. Mako's much better off the bench. And then, apart from the lucid prop, everyone else says the same, in my opinion, I think. I couldn't see anyone change, I think.
And Tom Lee, what about your ratings for the backs? How do you think they went?
Decent. I mean, the only disappointment for me, and mainly because, as we know, he's the greatest player in the world, is Elliot Daly. I gave him a 5. It just wasn't his game, was it? I think the Saffers did really well in just kind of from that 13 channel, just shutting that gate. And even when we tried to play behind the line, they were just right up in his face, and he didn't have any space to get outside. And that's he's not going to crash ball it up. He's not going to beat a man like in close quarters. He's going to beat the man on the outside on the drift, and they just did not give us the chance to do that. And the problem with when we try and then throw it out wide is Colby comes in. That's where he's got so many interception tries, isn't it? So he was unlucky, but I think he won't. He might be on the bench as a utility next week. I think Henshaw moves to 13.
Yeah.
Farrell into 12. Hopefully Bigger comes through his HIA.
Of course.
He's got his return to play protocols to go through. But yeah, I think Daly was unlucky because of the way we played. I thought Ali Price was great. He didn't have the impact I think people thought he would with his little snipes because we weren't playing that game, but he did everything really well.
He was solid, wasn't he?
7.5 out of 10. Dan Bigger the same. The kick he missed was quite straightforward for him, and that would have just given us that extra little bit of leeway, breathing room.
12-6 actually.
Yeah. So but he did all right. A couple of his kicks, some of his bombs were just a little bit too far for us to challenge, and you can't really afford that against if you pick the wrong man to kick that to for them. So I gave him a 7 as well. Watson, the old hot stepper. It's every time he gets a wood, beats that first man.
It was that one where like they kicked it and then Hogg gives it in a 22 and he just runs around everyone.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes.
That was it. And like 3 people missed it. I was like, oh my goodness, he
made like 20 minutes out of nowhere.
Literally, just in our 22, I was like, oh, he's just rapid.
I love him. I love his legs. Yeah. He's amazing.
He just always beats that first man. I think if we can get him a bit more space, I think if we can get ahead and make the Saffers have to play, and give our backs space, I think it's game over. So again, Watson a 7 as well because he's quite quiet. He didn't really do that much.
He can go a bit hiding occasionally, can't he? But when he gets the ball,
when he did he did the job. Henshaw gave him 6.5 just because he didn't really. He crashed it up a lot. He took a beating, but he also, although it wasn't given a try, he was partly to blame for that fucking shambles hot potato.
That was terrible.
That's
when
what
that happened,
I knocked Hogg down for that as well. Like you're up. Just hold on to the ball. Just take the tackle. And they're thinking, we've got the boys outside.
I don't even think we really tapped it. I think he just dropped it. I think.
Sinclair flew it to like Henshaw, didn't he? He flew it to Daly and then he fucked it up. And then Hogg as well, was it? Yeah,
Hogg. He slipped or something, didn't he? So I knocked him down a little bit for that. But the other thing he did, which really annoyed me, was when he made that break.
End of the first half.
And he's running, literally right before half time. Ball in one hand, LaRue tackles him, knock on. He has got options either side, but just hold on to that. If we hold on to that, we recycle it. It's like it's going to be a penalty or it's going to be a try.
Exactly.
And that changes how we feel at half time. And then the Saffers, fair play to them, they got the penalty at the scrum. They were like, right, we're going for it.
Yep. I was scared about that because I thought if they get another penalty, it's like 15 feels like, oh, we're going to be in trouble here.
And then you got Pollard and slot him from anywhere inside our half, so we got away with that one. That could have easily been like your 14-point swing, really, if you think about it.
For sure.
I thought, that's the bait. You learn that when you play 6 and you 2 hands, and especially when you've made a break like that and you've got a defender in front of you, 2 hands, so they don't know which way. You can only throw it there from that side. So. 6.5 for him. I thought our centres were a bit unlucky though because it didn't really work. We didn't really utilise them how we wanted or were able to. Van der Merwe 8. I thought we had this. You brought it up last week. Going up against Colby, and Colby can beat anyone in a phone booth. But and he's quite a big boy, but he didn't defensively fronted up. Didn't miss a tackle.
No,
or anything.
It was good. It was good.
But then, as you said, those cross fields, he's going to demolish him if we get it right. He's all over him. So even if it's just a knockdown to Hogg or Watson coming on the inside outside, But yeah, he was unlucky with the one that Henshaw went up and it was deemed a knock-on, wasn't it? But then he also should have really finished that, despite being called back. He just slipped, didn't he? And then Etzebev clotheslined him.
Yes.
But I thought he did well. He was, I think he only had like 3 carries into like the 70th minute or 60th minute or something like that. So again, quite quiet. But what he did do, he did well, and shut a few people up, I think. And then Hogg 6. He again didn't really do much, did he? I thought there's a couple of high balls he should have taken that he didn't. That Liam Williams probably would have diffused a little bit better. But again, he was part of that hot potato shambles at the back that nearly cost us the game. And I just think next week I'd be very surprised if Liam Williams isn't in that position, because they are going to keep bombing it. They're going to keep kicking it. And as much as Hogg's exciting going forward,
Liam Williams is so much more safer.
He's safer, yeah. And he still runs those lines. He still gets. Look at that try that we mentioned against New Zealand 4 years ago. Yeah. He set that all up, didn't he? So he can do it. He's proven he can do it, and it's just going to be a case of whether they think he's had enough rugby over the last few years over the last year being down in the Championship with Sarries or whatever. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Hogg drops out.
Our predictions for the game this weekend. So Moses, what do you think a Lions win, and what's your score prediction?
Lions win. I think based on what Tom said, I'm going to change actually. I think the Saffers will have to play, and so I think they'll come out, but second half they'll be tired. They'll probably even be more tired in the second half of this game than the next game. So I'm going to say Lions to win by 6 points, 26-20.
26-20.
Good maths.
I'm going to write
Yeah,
that down. 26. Okay. And Tom, what do you think?
So yeah, it's going to be a more open game. We're going to try and manage it a bit better. I think we've done what we needed to win the first one. I think we will win the second, and I think it'll be something like 28-20, 28-21. There'll be a try worth points of difference in the result, because as we had to do as England in the World Cup final, they're going to have to go for it. And the scoreline flattered them in the final because we started throwing passes we had no right to throw. And hopefully they're going to be in the position to have to do that as well. It'll be physical first half. I think it'll be an interesting start, and then we should pull away at the end again.
Yeah, I'm on the same lines. I think it'll be sort of 29-14 to Lions. I think we'll win this one a lot more comfortably, because if you think about it, we gave them 12 points in that first half, and I don't think we'll do that again. I think we'll be a bit more sensible. I think we'll sort of be a bit more physical in that first half. So I think 29-17, I'd say Ali Price or Calvin can score first, I think.
Oh yeah, so first try score. I'm going to go Furlong, said it earlier. Tad Furlong, first try scorer.
Anthony Watson.
So we've got Moses 26-20, Anthony Watson, Tom 28-20, I think you've finally went for.
Yeah, Tad Furlong.
And Furlong, I've gone 29-17.
I just love the
Ali
fact.
Price.
I love the fact that Tad Furlong had a potato addiction. It's amazing.
I love the
true?
stereotypes.
Yeah. No, literally, you Google it. The Irish or Leinster S&C coach was like putting him on his programme. I had all his meals done for him and stuff. And he was coming back still overweight. And we found out he just had an addiction to potatoes. He's like chips, like crisps. He was just eating loads of potatoes.
Crisps. Good odds.
I'd like to see the odds on a 28-20 Furlong to score first. It'd be quite healthy odds, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Quite, yeah.
Beautiful.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
We'll be millionaires, Rodney.
Perfect. Yeah, hopefully it's a 2-0 win, and then go for the whitewash the following week.
I reckon if we win this week, I'd say just Mocksmith starting.
Flair.
Probably take the piss.
Harrison Aki in the centre. Just like bring everyone. Adam Beard captain as well. Just like
Add a bit of
just absolutely just be like South Korea again. Now we've won Test series, which we're going to play. And if we win this game, it's only going to be played at.
I mean, part of me wants it to go to 1-1 and then have a decider.
Really?
But I'd love a 3-0.
Yeah.
I'd love a 3-0.
I'd be really nervous if they won't be like, oh, I don't know if we can get them the momentum.
And Gats would then be the only coach ever to not be beaten in three tours,
yeah, in a row.
Why didn't they do extra time against New Zealand?
I know. And yeah, why didn't they do that? That's so
Wasn't
bizarre
in the-
to me.
not there.
Wasn't
Not
in
allowed,
the regs or something. Yeah, it's mad. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully it's 2-0 Lions this weekend, and then we'll see you next week. Thank you.